4:16. V'hinei inyan machloket bet Shammai u'bet Hillel hanal. Now we're going to explain how the machloket of Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel, again with Chanukah, also shows something very interesting about what we were saying. V'inyan ha'hitkadavut hanefashot harchokot me'od me'od. On the idea of bringing people back that are far away. She'en ra'ui min adin lekaravan, that according to the letter of the law, we really should not bring them close, because if they're sinning and not caring about Judaism, so just let them not ruin the rest of the people and the rest of the sheep. Maybe we'll get influenced. But this is the idea, shebet Shammai omrim, this is what Bet Shammai says, pochet veholech, lehalim haor mehen shelo yitkarvu, that as day goes by, and there's more light in heaven coming down, so we make it less in the candles, so that it's like there's less of it coming out to the public, so it's like we're minimizing it to people. And we're not trying to help people come close that are not interested. Ubet Hillel omrim, but Bet Hillel says the other way, mosif veholech, add and keep on going. Because we have to bring all these people back and make more kelim, more vessels, and more tzimtzumim, which means more parables and more tools and ways of explaining to get even to the lower people that don't understand too much of Gemara or Torah or the secrets. Sometimes by making it more simple and more simple, which we'll see examples of as we go in. Be'ofan sheyuchlu leha'ir gam bahem orot barach, that even to them you can shine God's light onto them. Kedesh karvu gam hem v'chanal, so even they can come close to Hashem. V'hinei inyan machloket zot zehu b'chinat kela lemachloket shebechol dor al hatzadikim hashelemim. This argument is really similar in what happens in every generation. That we go against sometimes the tzaddikim that are ha'oskim lekarev nefashot, those that want to bring people back, harechokim la'Hashem etbarach, that are far away from Hashem. Sherabim me'od kamim alehem, that people say, no, don't do that. What are you bothering with these lowly people for? Vegam rabim megedolei tzadikim chokim alehem, and even great rabbis will fight against the rabbis that want to bring people back. Again, it's not just the kiruv movement, but when the kiruv movement goes to everybody and goes to even the lowest of the low, that's sometimes what the public or the rabbis might get upset at. Now the truth is, maybe they don't know how to handle that. That could be their problem. But if a tzaddik knows how to handle it, like we're going to see, they should not stand in his way. Nechamat shemidat hadin mitlabesh bahem. And this is because their attribute of justice is clothed in them, just like Shammai, so they're being tough. Val yidei zeh nechnas belibam tina. So they have arguments and a little hatred in their hearts. Ad shenidmeh lahem ki'ilu eino mitnaheg kara'ui, so much that they think that the rabbi is trying to help other people, he's not acting right. V'cholkim alav, and they go against him. Kasher kvar haya leolamim, like always this was, berov hadorot, in all the generations. Ubefrat biyamenu be'kvot Mashiach, especially biyamenu in our time in the footsteps of Mashiach, shenitrabe hakategoria ben hatalmidei chachamim me'od, that there's a lot of argument between the Talmidei Chachamim. Ubioter al Rabbeinu hagadol vehanora zecher tzadik v'kadosh lebracha, and our very own Rabbeinu Zal, Rav Nachman. Rav Natan is saying that even this is what Rav Nachman was about, because he knew how to get to everybody, and the tzaddikim of the generation, of course, were against him. Why are you making everything public? And, whatever all their things against him were. Al asher masar nafsho meneged, because he gave his life, ve'asa kol yamav lerachem al Yisrael, in order to have mercy on all of Israel. Al kol archokim lekaravam Hashem Yitbarach. On everybody far, he tried to bring them close. Just like we say, even though Likutei Maharan is very deep, but the stories that the rabbi has, like the lost princess and the rabbi and his son, all these stories that we can read on, this was meant for him, for the rabbi Rabbeinu Zal, to reach even the people that don't know how to learn and don't know how to read Likutei Maharan, so they can find Hashem even in a little story. That's what it means. He would make a tzimtzum or a keli even to get lower down and lower down, so that people can attach on and be able to find some meaning into the Torah. So again, only a great rabbi would know how to do that. If others don't know how to do it, they shouldn't stop those that do. This is again the idea of the machloket between the Shevatim and Yosef HaTzadik, that they went against him. Ki Yosef hu bechinat HaTzadik sheosek lekarev leHashem Yitbarach. Because Yosef was also about being and doing kiruv of other people to Hashem Yitbarach. And we'll see how. Al yedei shemosif veholech haor bechol yom. Playing on the word that Hillel says we add the light. So again, it's like an aspect of Yosef, because we mosif the light. Ki oseh bechol pam simtsumim vekelim niflaim. Because we make new ideas of kelim and simtsumim, like we said, in order to reach people. B'ofan sheyuchlu litkarev kol mi sheyetzeh ba'olam, that anybody in the world wants. V'al shem zeh nekra Yosef. That's why it's called Yosef, b'chanat mosif veholech kanal. V'ashevatim af al pi shekulam kidoshim, even though everybody was holy in the Shevatim, because it says they all were the Shnei Masar, they were Bnei Yaakov Shnei Masar, all of them, so nobody was left out. Ki hayu kulam tzadikim gedolim, chalku alav b'shvil zeh. They were great tzadikim, and they were arguing against Yosef. The argument was really about this, and we'll see how here. V'zeh b'chinat Vayeshev Yaakov beretz megurei abiv, like it says in the beginning of Vayeshev, Yaakov dwelled in the land where his father lived. And Darashu Rabbeinu Zal in Bereshit Rabbah, it says in 84, Shaya megayer gerim. He used to make converts. When it says megurei aviv, it meant he used to do converts like his father and his grandfather, like we know, right? Abraham and Sarah, they were megayer, the people, and Yitzchak. Obviously, also, they always had people and entourages of people bringing them close to Hashem. Doesn't mean they were part of Bnei Yaakov, but they were still people surrounding, doing the right thing in that sense. Kamuva b'dvarav zal, Likutei Maharan, like it says there, in Siman 228, Elle toledot Yaakov Yosef. Why does it say these are the generations of Yaakov, and then it just says Yosef? Because it means Yosef was the one who was going in Yaakov's way. And which way? Of making gerim. Hainu, sheyosef halach bederech aviv Yaakov, v'haya osek gam ken legayer gerim ulkarev nefashot harchokot. So Yosef was also bringing people close. Even the farthest people, he was bringing them close. Ki kol ma she'era Yaakov era Yosef. Whatever happened to Yaakov basically happened to Yosef. Because Yaakov went to Lavan, Yosef went to Mitzrayim. They have similar storylines. Shezehu perush ele toldot Yaakov Yosef. That's why it says after Yaakov, it says just Yosef. Kemo sheperesh Rashi, like Rashi says Sham. Shekol ma shekibel meshem va'ever masar lo. Whatever Yaakov learned from Shem va'ever, he gave it over to Yosef. V'chol ma she'era Yaakov era Yosef. And whatever happened to Yaakov, happened to Yosef. V'chol ze nimsmach lapasuk migurei aviv. And all this is really coming out and being simuchim, it's next to, juxtaposed from the pasuk of Megurei Aviv, meaning after it said Vayeshev in Megurei Aviv, it then said Ele Toldot Yaakov. So to link the word of Gerim, of making Gerim, to again Yaakov and Yosef. Shehu ma shaya Yaakov megayer Gerim, v'tekef nismach Ele Toldot Yaakov Yosef. Sheperisho Shemasar lo kol chochmato kanal, that he gave him over all that wisdom, and wisdom of how to make gerim. And of course then Yosef would do it. Hainu kana, like it says, כמו שיעקב גייר גרים על ידי עוצם חוכמתו, שהיה יודע לעשות צמצומים כאלה עד שיוכל לרפאות החולים ביותר. Again, Yaakov knew how to reach people by making vessels and making, again, metaphors and things to reach the people. And even the most sick people, of spiritually sick, he knew how to reach them and to heal them. כמו כן היה יוסף הצדיק עוסק בזה תמיד. Also, Yosef knew how to do this and he did it always. כי יעקב מסר לו כל חוכמתו. Because Yaakov gave him all the wisdom. Again, it takes someone like a Rabbeinu Zal, or maybe not even to that extent, to be able to do this. And so people should try and do this. You don't have to be a Rabbeinu Zal, meaning, but if one is, we certainly are not supposed to stop them like people did in that time. But we should all try and take this on in some way. Sometimes you get bogged down if you go to people that they might drag you down instead of you dragging them up. So you really do have to consult with higher rabbis above you before you go and try and reach people at a lower level. Meaning, and start going to discos and nightclubs and things to try and get them. Like we know there's the disco Rebbe, if you're someone like that, and he made sure to ask his rabbis, of course. He would go to the discos in order to bring back the people, and he has a very big organization and many people that he brought closer. He should be well. So this is not something to play with. The idea is you do it if you can, but if you don't, then you leave it for those who can, and you don't go against them. כי עיקר החוכמה הוא להכניס השגות אלוקות בעולם, because it's all about bringing godliness, consciousness into the world. להודיע לבני האדם גבורותיו, like it says in Tehillim, to make known Hashem's strength to all the world, to all mankind. That's what it's all about. וזהו בחינת יוסף בן 17 שנה. היה רואה את אחיו בצאן. That's why it says Yosef was 17, and he was shepherding with his brothers the sheep. Now, ro'eh tzon, ze bechinat manhig hador. When it says ro'eh tzon, it usually means a leader, because if you can lead the sheep, you can also lead the people usually. Shenekra bechol makom b'shem ro'eh tzon, like it says, you have Moshe was a shepherd, but that was because he was training to lead the people. David HaMelech, same thing. Vezehu ben 17 shana haya. That's why it says he was 17 years old. 17 begematria tov. 17 is the numerical value of the word tov, which means kamuva, like it says, Hainu Yosef haya tov lakol. Yosef was good for everybody. He knew how to reach everybody. Vehaya kulo tov, and he was all good. Val yedei ze haya yachol likarev hakol, and he could have, he knew how with the right wisdom and the right words, he knew how to reach everybody. Just like we say tov Hashem lakol. Hashem is also good, so Yosef took example from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is the right way to do it. Ki matzah b'hagarua shabagiruim nekudot tovot. Back to the nekudot tovot. He found in everybody, even the lowest of the low, some good points. Because again, tov, he's 17, so he found the tov in everybody. Val yedei zeh kerevam le'Hashem itbarach. And that's how he was able to bring them back to Hashem itbarach. Even in jail with the butler and the baker, he was down on his luck and down. He could have just said, I'm not going to talk to anybody and get all depressed, but he didn't. And he always had a smile and trying to make everybody feel good in the jail. So this was his personality, always trying to reach the people and deal with the people. Vezehu vehu na'ar et bnei Bilha vet bnei Zilpah. That's why it says he was a na'ar with the children of Bilha and the children of Zilpah. Shem bnei Shefachot. They were the tribes that came from the Shefachot, from the handmaids. Hem bechinat mishpachot hayirudot sheb'Yisrael, which as an example is just showing that they are like when we say families of, not the best families or not the best yechus. So that's what they were, and yet Yosef used to be with them and play with them and stay with them. Shaya morid et asma lehem bioter kedei lekaribam. And used to stay with them in order to also help bring them closer. Val shem ze nikraim harchokim. That's why they're called those that are far away, and they call them Bnei Bilha uBnei Zilpa. These words, Bilha and Zilpa, have to do with things of being far away, meaning not the real Bnei Bilha and Zilpa, but just playing on those words. When you say Bnei Bilha and Bnei Zilpa, it means people that are not close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Nothing to do with the tribes. So it says, Zer remez shene'achaz bahem. It's a remez that these are people that took hold of them biyoter haba'al davar, which means the Satan, v'chelotav, and his army, shezeu bechinat bnei bilha, bechinat balahot etnech. Like it says, I will make you into balahot. And Rashi says over there, Feresh Rashi Shedim, the demons, which means they're taken over by the forces of evil. So it means not such good people. Hainu chaylot hayetzer hara shehem shedin uklipot, shehem mevahalim umbalbelim umarsheim et ha'adam, that they confuse and mix up the people and make them do wicked things. V'zeh bechinat bnei zilpa. Zilpa also has to do with that. Bechinat Zal'afa achazatni mershaim, like it says in Tehillim, the evil has gripped me because of the sins. And it says, Ki chelot hayetzer hara hem bechinat balahot v'zalafot. Again, all these things from the side of evil. Also, zal is like mizalzel, making fun and things like that. So just as a phrase, people who are like that and being drawn after the wrong thing are termed Bnei Bilha and Bnei Zilpa. V'tzadik hagadol b'chinat Yosef, and the great tzaddik, which is Yosef, osek imahem umorid et atzmo alehem. He works with them and he lowers himself to their level, kedei lekarvam LaHashem Yitbarach, in order to bring them close to Hashem. Now, of course, his brothers, Bnei Bilha and Zilpa, he wasn't with them just for kiruv. It was his brothers, and they were all righteous. That's why we're just saying that the phrase is used to understand it in another way, besides the Shivatim story. Now, v'zehu v'hu nar et Bnei Bilha v'et Bnei Zilpa. Why did it say he's a na'ar? He was 17, but still, why say it then? Uferesh Rashi shaya oseh ma'aseh na'arut. He used to do things of a boy, of a young man, like comb his hair and things like that. Now it says, Ki atzadik ha'emet be'otzem chokhmato. This is what we're really understanding, that a great tzaddik and his great chokhmah, again, that he learned from Yaakov, a great chokhmah, how to deal with people, who morid et atzmo alehem kol kach. He knew how to lower himself all the way like that. Ad shenidmeh ki'ilu oseh ma'aseh narut. It only looked like he was doing these things, and he was acting like a teenager. Ki medaber imahem sichat chulin. He would talk to them about regular matters, secular matters. Ve'ochel v'shotei imahem. He would eat and drink with them. Ufe'amim metayel u'msachek imahem. And he'd walk with them and play with them. V'chol kavanato kedei lekarvam al yedei zeh LaHashem Yitbarach. All in mind in order to bring them close to Hashem. So it's not so much that he did comb his hair, but maybe he did, but in front of them, just to show, I'm one of you, I'm in the world, I'm doing what you're doing, like the disco Rabbi again. V'chamuvan b'dvarav zal bekama mekomot, like it says in many places. Kama v'kama hatzadik morid et atzmo el haolam. How a tzaddik lowers himself to go into the world. Shekol ze nechshav etzlo maseh na'arut. That all this means, this is what it means for him to be like an adolescent. It just means he's playing the role as an adolescent in order to get to the people. Aval kavanato ritzuya LaHashem Yitbarach levad. His only main kavanah is just to get close to Hashem and bring the others with him. Bishvil lekarev harchukim me'od LaHashem Yitbarach. She'i afshar lekarvam ki'im al yidei zeh. Because this is the only way to do it. Some people, it's the only way to do it, the only way you'll get to them. I think they say about Rabbi Aharon Kotler, he played chess with some older man. He used to play chess with him. And the rabbis or his students said, what are you doing, wasting time with the chess? He said that they realized that's how he's getting to this older man. somehow with their conversations in the chess game, he ended up getting to reach him. V'zeu bechinat v'hu nar et bnei bilha v'et bnei zilpa. And that's what it means in the pasuk when it says he was a young man, nar, with the children of Bilha and bnei Zilpa. So that's why you have to be a nar and look like a nar if you're going to go get these far off people.